Good afternoon, folks, and welcome. This is the first. Just move that out of the way a minute and bring the Collaro back up. Right, this is the first part. I'm going to call this the first part of the Collaro restoration service, that sort of thing, because the first one was basically I spent most of the time trying to sort the idler out, and I've tried a number of things that don't work. And the only reason why I've posted that is so that you guys don't have to try them things, because you know I've tried them and they don't bloody work. And here's part of the idler. That's part of the rubber that come off Jay's old idler, and look, you can just rip it. It's no good. Anyway, I spoke to Jay before about it, and I've left dealing with the idler in his capable hands. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip and wash this. But before I strip and wash this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that to one side, because that's safe there. First of all, we're going to deal with the motor and the speed mechanism, which is all built onto the motor in these. Let's take that screw out. It doesn't have to come out, but I might as well. There we go, because there's a washer that goes on that as well. I just popped it back on while I was checking and trying to do the idler. What you will need, and I'll tell you now, folks, you will need a digital camera. In this case I'm using a phone, but you will need a digital camera. Collaro decks are not for the faint-hearted. They're not, if you're going to have a go, try a BSR Monarch or something like that first, something a bit more straightforward. These are a bit of a challenge, and you do need, even for someone like me who considers himself an expert, sort of, they're a challenge, and you do need a digital camera, because you will need to photograph. And this has all got to come apart, because it's all got to be cleaned. And the motor does work, and the motor works very well, actually. So what we'll do, we'll start by photographing the motor. I'm not taking any chances on this. I want this to be right. So we'll get the camera on, and we can you zoom in on this? I don't think you can. Oh, it just takes photos, doesn't it, when you do that? So what we'll do, we'll photograph it from a couple of angles. We'll photograph it from the top there. There we go. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. No, I'm not. I was going to delete all the photos off my phone, so I don't have to go through them. I'll find them. And I want to photograph it from here. I want to photograph it from the bottom. So why is it... Oh, George! Why have I got a fucking... Oh, pressed on the thingy. Let me just get rid of this. There. Yeah. There we go. Always... And... See, now once you've done this, you see, you can be relatively sure that you've got it right. Now, I think I've got enough photographs of that, so I can turn that off. Move that out of the way. I think I've got enough focus in finding this rubber. Look at it, it's like paper, folks. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I've wiped my ass on stronger paper. Anyway, but there again, it is 60 odd years old and it's got a right to go wrong, hasn't it? So what we'll do now, we'll start to disassemble the speed mechanism so that we can rebuild it and lubricate it. There we go. This should be pretty straightforward to do. So we're going to unhook this spring from the top there, because we want him off. We'll leave him on there because it's painted and it's glued, so we'll leave him on there. We've got a screw there which and that's your what do you call it, that moves your speed up and down there. That's, I'll tell you what, you know, they're really, it'll take the spring off the bottom. Really, and be careful when you take your springs off that you don't actually damage. I'm going to take that one off because I'm going to need it off to get that clip. Be careful that you don't damage right. See, this is why you have to photograph these things and make sure that's an adjustment. That's going to have to be set up again. Yeah. That's an adjustment that's going to have to be reset once I put it all back together. I should have marked that, but it wouldn't have mattered marking it because it would still, when I put the mark on, it would still take it off anyway. So that looks like an adjustment that would have to be reset. But we'll take the thing apart anyway. And this, they actually used a nylock nut on this as well. Right, we've got a fibre washer, no, metal washer, sorry, there, that has to come out. So that washer has to come out. And now, does that have to come off? Yeah, it does, because it has to come off here. Because you can't get that out without getting that out. Yeah, that has to come out, and look at that now. You get bits that start to drop off. So you have to make sure, and I'm leaving these bits here, and you have to make sure that you have photographs. You don't take photographs of this, folks, and you are fucking screwed. Now this, basically it's just taking the speed mechanism apart really. We're going to be lubricating it. Pull that off the bottom there so don't lose it. That little bit there. This is all as dry as a bone and really needs doing. Now to get this off, we undo this screw here. Should only need to slacken the screw. There we are. The bar pulls out. And what we'll do, we'll use a screwdriver to push the bar through. Or does it come out through the top? Might come out through the top. It comes out through the top. I don't know why, but there's a little indentation in the bar there where the screw goes in. That's where it's locked. Now, take this out. And that's pretty much your speed mechanism disassembled. Got another grub screw here. And see, the nice thing about the grub screws is we don't have to undo them all away. Hopefully. And that should just tap out. If it doesn't, then we'll have to get the lubricant in there. So it is moving, so it should come out. Let's move the motor a minute. There we go. Now, this is cast. And given that it's cast, let's take the screw all away. That's cast, and given that that's cast, I don't want to hit it. It moves there, which means it has to move there, so it's obviously in the shaft. So what we'll do, get our little hammer, yeah, a little vise, and what we can do, we can just put it on top, hold it on top of the vise. I'm only going to try this once or twice because I don't want to damage the casting. There you go. That's it. And there's our grease in there. And then that pulls apart there. There we go, folks. Put the vise over there. Now, is there anything else on here that needs to come off? That doesn't come off, that's fitted in. The motor, the bottom bearing needs to come out. So we may as well do that now. Oh, that's good, isn't it? It doesn't fit. Do I have anything in here that does fit?
It's done, Andy.
Thank you. And I told you not to bloody speak to me and doing a video.
Oh, I thought you'd done it.
Fucking lump. Right, well at least the pliers fit it, folks, so we can get it off. And in a minute I'll get all my lubricants down. Alright. And the good thing about these is you don't have to take the whole motor apart, I don't think. I think you can just get away with taking the bottom and top bearings and all pull apart once you do this. It all does need sorting. It's a real, I mean this is, come on, there we go. Don't you hate it when it hangs up as you're turning it? Right. There's something small and very annoying flying around me. What I want to do, folks, I want to put this grub screw back into here, and do you know why I want to do that? So I don't lose a bastard. That'll do. Now the motor, the block should pull off the bottom. Look at that. No oil in there at all. It's completely dry as a bone. So what we need to do, we need to take the block apart, because this can be soaked in oil. take this off here and I can soak it in oil, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be oil soaked. Yeah, the last video was basically based on the idler, but that screw weren't even tight. There's a bloody fly flying around me. Listen, flies, if you want to fly around something, fly around that bush clock, around that bush DAB radio. That's the turd. There we are. You see, there's the fibre. There's where the oil's supposed to be. Look, you see where the oil used to be. It's as dry as a bone now. Now I'll take the bearing out and look at this here. Believe it or not, a little bit of oil on that. Only a little bit. Let's clean this tray out here. Look at all that gunge. Now you'd think that was grease, but it's not, it's gunge. Let's get a cloth. It's gunge. Now what we do need to do is wipe the gunge out of there. And I mean, it was spinning nicely, this. I mean, I had no problem with that. There we go. Let's clean all the crap off the bottom of this. I mean, that ball bearing in there, that's turning, you can feel it. So that's working lovely, so that's good. So what we'll do now, we'll find a little something we can put some oil in. We'll find a little something we can put some oil in. Little tub or something that we can put some oil in. Bear with me, folks. So what we'll do, we'll put some oil in this cap. Put some oil in this cap, and we can let the bits that we need oil, just put a little bit of oil in there, that's all we need. And we can drop the felt washer, which needs to be re-impregnated. And get this little washer off there, that needs to be re-impregnated. Now the bearings don't, because they'll just be lubed as we go back in. We'll just pop that there to one side for a minute. And they're all the parts of the motor. Now you can choose to photograph the motor if you want to. I haven't, because I know what I'm doing, nearly. Now what we need to do now is get the main, I'd like to clean all that, to be honest. Now what you do to get the, let's get this spring off here because it's come loose, I don't want to lose it, so we'll pull that off now. There we go, I thought it would have held on but it hasn't done. Now what we need to do, we need to get the pulley off, and to get the pulley off you just, that was easy, wasn't it? You just pull the pulley off, and now that we need to get the fan off. Yeah, and how do we get the fan off? That could be a more challenging. Or better still, can I just tap this? Yeah. Yeah, just tap that. And we'll get the fan back on again when we need to. So all we do is we just get the little screwdriver that we had before, the small pointy thing, put that in the middle, and just and then you just leave it all to percussion. You just hit it. There we go. And we've got the, and there we go. Is there anything else in there that we could possibly lose? There's another felt pad in there for the top bearing. I tell you what, Collaro, I've got to take my hat off to you guys. You made your motors really, really good. So we'll take this apart to get the felt pad out of that one. All we do now is just side down. I was expecting all that to just drop out there, folks, but it didn't. But that doesn't matter. There we go. And we've got that bit there, which, remember one thing when you take this apart, the aluminium washer goes on that way. So remember that, the aluminium washer goes on first because it goes into the lip that's there. So I'll take this one off and drop that in there. We'll let them soak in oil. Oh. We'll let that soak in oil. Now, this is actually not too bad, this motor. It actually wipes, all the shit just wipes off. It's not really as bad as I've seen them in the past. But what we're doing, we're just cleaning the housing of the motor, and these here, it doesn't matter if you get them mixed up, they're exactly the same. So if you get them mixed up, the screws are exactly the same, that hold all that together. So if you get it mixed up, it doesn't really matter. And remember, there's 3 of these. One goes in the bottom here and 2 go in the top, because one basically one goes in after, one goes in first. Oh, sorry. You have that goes in, then you have a fibre wash on there that goes in. Then, well, you actually have your main, you have your main sponge that goes on there, and that basically retains the oil. So what I want to do is really give this a clean, and it just, I don't need to use any chemicals here because it's only dust really. It just wipes, it all wipes off. Look at that. You know, it just wipes off. It's just doesn't need any chemicals on there, and there's no point putting chemicals in there because, whoops, there's no point putting chemicals in there because all that's in there really is your poles, really, just you know, because it's a shaded pole motor, so it's just your shaded poles really that are in there. So what we do now, we're now looking at putting the motor back together, and it helps to have tools like this where you can hook things out of oil. So we need one of those, which goes onto one of those, and there's only 2 of those, so we only put one on. Then we want the lightest out of the 2 of these, which was the top one, and look how much that's swelled out now. It's actually swelled out quite a bit. That's absorbed a lot of oil. And what we do next, we wipe off the excess. I mean, And that's your top bearing. Believe it or not, that's your top bearing. And that, yeah, will this little trick I'm going to try work? It probably won't. Because what I want to do, I'm hoping I don't have to take it all apart to put this back together. Because what my plan is to put that, drop that in there, yeah, we've got it. Then we've got another one of these, which goes there. Then right, we have two of them out there. So why did we have two? Well, one didn't go in the front, did it? Right, and the other one drops down onto there, and it's actually quite easy to put this together, folks. It's, believe it or not, just line the holes up. The hardest part is going to be putting the fucking screws in. There we go. Get one started and then we can get the other one in. Right. Two of those definitely went in there because I only took one out of the bottom. Yeah. The problem is you can't really see. You can't really see. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to tighten. There we go. Just tighten the first screw down. Come out. There we go. Tighten the first screw down a little bit. Now the plates won't move. And what we can do now, we can just, yeah, there you go. Now that's the first, that is the first. Shut up! Get in there, you fucker. There we go. Yeah, it's supposed to go that way. Because it goes through that hole. Yeah. Yeah, because the other end don't come through there. Just check it. Make sure got the fucker right. Right, so just drop it into there. I was right. But you have to make sure these things. Yeah, I was right. I'll lift that back out. Yeah, I'm right. Drop that back into the hole, which is easier fucking said than done. Because it wants to go in the other way, but it doesn't fit the other way. Now let's put the... There we go. That goes in there. And then we get the fan. Put the fan on last. I'm not sure about that. Let's pull that back out. I hate these fucking flies. Fuck off, you cunts. Right, let's put that one in. Might go that fucking way actually, because I didn't like the thought that that's... That's weird. Have a look at this one. Because this one sits in like that. That one sits in the bottom there. Yeah, let's pull it back out. Alright, there we go. Now, let's see. Let's get this post off here. That goes that way. Yeah, I thought it goes that way. Yeah, that goes in first because it can't come out. And it has a little bit of wiggle room in there as well, so that does go in first like that. There we go. Yeah, that goes in first. That's how it goes, folks. And then we have the two. Don't know why they put two in this, but they did. I don't understand that. Get all this back together, all that round. That's not quite centred. Let's lift that back out. Let's get that on the centre. go. That's centred. And that goes upside down, it goes that way. And then bring this there. And put this one in. I think these can go in any way, it doesn't make any difference. They're not asymmetrical or anything. But I mean, it has to be right. I mean, you can't just throw it back together and say, oh yeah, well that'll do. Because if it's not right, it won't do. And I'm doing this for Jay at Jay's Vintage Junk, and it's got to be right. I mean, if I was doing it for anybody, it'd have to be right, but it's still got to be right, no matter who you're doing it for. But come on, you cunt, get in there. See, one's moving. I didn't have this hassle last time. There we go. We get one screw in. If I can get one screw to go in, then I can, once one screw bites, I can line it all up like I did last time. But are we there? Yep, we're in. Let's get the tool into the other screw, to the other hole, and that way it'll that one now line that up like we did before. Well, not tighten it all the way, but just enough. There we go. Get that out. Now I'll hold the screw in. Finish my coffee in a minute, folks. But you'll see all the process of me doing this. I won't hide anything. Now, tip that there so we can. There we go. And that'll now tighten up. Tighten that one. Right, I nearly went to pick that up then. Fucking drink the fucker, that's my oil, that's my coffee. Now, drop that back in. There we go. See, and that goes like that. See, and there's no movement there now, which is what you should have. And that should just drop straight out the bottom, which it does. Right, and what I'll do, I will actually put just on the bottom there a little bit of oil. Now that's the top of the motor done. Now we'll work on the bottom of the motor. We'll put the fan and stuff on last. Get the rest of the motor put together. Now we you want one of those. What we'll do, we'll just drop a little bit of what we'll do, just dump the bearing in the oil so it's got some to be working with. That's really messy. But the thing is, you know, it's put that back in. Whoops. Put that in. You see, it's done like this for a reason, folks. It's done like this for a reason. It's done to lubricate it and make sure it stays lubricated for many, many years to come. I mean, that oil I'm using here won't get wasted. It will find its way into other parts of the mechanism. And we'll put that on the top there, which is the top thing. We'll put that in there. And then we've got the two screws that secure the top. We'll call it, because I don't know what it's called, we'll call it the pressure plate, because that's basically what it does. It applies pressure to the bearing to keep it seated. And we'll wipe all this because we don't want any excess oil. I think what me and Jay are doing on this, I think what we're going to do a cross episode. I mean, we're going to I want to try and keep it as all one part if I can, to make it as easy as possible. But it might end up being a two-parter, but I want to try and make it one. Now I'll wipe all that off there because we don't need any of that. And that will position itself. There we are, it moves. There we go. Position that to the middle. It'll self-position anyway when it goes in. There we go. And that's the block in. Now, whoops, put the bolts back in. Right, we've got nothing left out of the motor. Everything that come out of the motor has gone back in. I think there are oil holes there for oiling that, but they seem a bit too far away from here. So, and what I will do, I'll actually connect the motor up if I can. And remember, I had trouble getting one of these screws in out because it just wanted to be a pain. But I'll tell you what, I think the way Collaro made their motors, I think they were brilliant. Certainly well over engineered, but they did something that BSR and Garrard never did. They made them so you could take the bearings and everything, really get to grips and get them apart. You can't do that with Garrard or BSR motors, to the point where, you know, you can strip this down to pretty much everything. But alright, give that a wiggle to get it self-centered. That's it. Beautiful. Let's give the fan a quick wipe. Let's give the fan a wipe and then put the fan back on. I mean, they even went to the trouble of putting a fan in the motor to help cool the motor. I mean, now what we'll do, we'll find something that we can use I think that might do it. Oh, that comes back off. Yeah, it does. That's part of the speed change mechanism. Now I want to tap the that's it. How about that, folks? And once the oil wears in, that'll go even better. So once the oil goes in, that'll be even better. That's beautiful. No slack in it, nothing. Beautiful. And all we've got to do next is just oh, fucking idiot. I've gone and tapped it down too fucking much. Tap the fan down. Hang on. Can I? Yeah. That's it. Let's get the screwdriver under that. Just right, we're not touching the bottom there now, we're okay. That's got to be pushed on by hand apparently. The pulley. Yep. There we go, folks. Now, I'm wondering, because I think that should go on a bit further than what it does. Let's bring the fan up a little bit more. There we go. I think that should go on a bit further more than what it does. Turn that around, because that has to go onto there. That's it, because that has to hold the fan in place as well, that spring. And then just see if we can pull this down a bit, this spring, because I need it further onto there. That's it. That's it. That's how it should be, good and tight. There we go. You folks, how about that? How's that motor for you, Jay? Is that good enough, my friend? There we go, look at that. Freshly serviced, good for another 60 years. Now, what I'm going to do now, folks, I'm going to get me lunch because I'm hungry and I do want something to eat and I want a fresh coffee. So what I'm going to do, right, folks, we're back on the, what we're going to do now, we're going to rebuild the speed mechanism now, the speed change mechanism, and I'm going to get that back up to how it should be, and we'll start with this. And that went in. Did that go that way? Or did it go that way? We've got the photo, so it doesn't matter. let's have a look at the... I like to try and do it without the filters if I can. This went onto here. No, it didn't. This side might have done. Yeah, that side went onto there. Yeah, that went onto there. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It didn't at all. Right. Basically, if you're not sure, you check the photos you took, and if it's, but there again, that goes in that one because it lines up. Yeah, that goes in there. So that goes in this side. See, I like to try and do things without referring to the photographs, but I will if I have to. And this goes, and that went to the top there. Sure it did. Yeah, that went to the top. Because that was unclipped at the bottom. Yeah, that went there like that. That's how that goes. And let's just wind that screw out a little bit. There we go. That was too far in. Just tap the pin in. There we go. Yeah, let me ask you. Oh, hang on, I'm not putting a lubricant in it, have I? Yeah, fucking dopey bastard. Yeah, Andy, you fucking dopey fucker. Right, let's push it back out. It's just pushed back out now. There we go. Yeah. Once you're not putting the fucking lubricant in it. Gee, I don't know. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just get me a little brush. Get me a little paste brush. We only need a little bit of grease on here. Before I do that, let me just give this a bit of a wipe. I mean, the old stuff on here isn't exactly hard and it just wipes off. But I mean, it's just wiping off really, so it's not really too bad. I mean, sometimes you have to really get into it and there we are. Now, just a little bit of grease, only a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, folks. And what we'll do now, we'll put I want that end to go in that end because that's the end of the screw. And with me little ukulele in my hand. I shouldn't really sing, should I? I'll be getting blamed if it rains. Right. I'm actually trying to learn, folks. I'm actually practicing at the moment the ukulele. That's tight. With the top of that I wipe. And that's where the idler goes on. There we go. Right, and there you go. I mean, the only place this moves, I lubricated the whole shaft, but the only place it moves really is in this pivot here and this pivot here. That's all it moves. Don't move anywhere else. At least we're good. Right, clean this one. I mean, the stuff just comes off. I mean, it's. I mean, Collaro must have used good shit in the first place, judging by how that motor was constructed. It just wiped off. Look at that. And you know something? Look at these shafts. There's very little wear on them. Right, and this shaft goes through here. That goes through there. Because it doesn't go in that one. And that doesn't go in that one. No, it doesn't go in that one. Because that one goes in that one. Am I upside down? Oops. Can't believe it. Look at that motor now. Now it's settling in. Spot on. Right. So that one there. Now let's work out where this fucker goes back in. I did take pictures, but I'm trying not to refer to them unless I absolutely have to. Now this pin goes in here. Right, so doesn't go up there, doesn't go up there. I'm trying to do it without using the photographs. But I will if I have to, because that's what they're for. Right, this pin goes into here. Yeah, that goes into there because it's tight and it has a grub screw on it, so we can put that in there for a minute. We're in the groove, so we're okay. Some say, why don't you be a scout, why don't you read a book? I get much more pleasure when the spring goes on the bottom there, and the spring goes on the top there. But that is supposed to go. That doesn't go that way in. Right. Doesn't go that way in. Right, I might have to refer to my photograph though. Good job I took them, innit? But before I do, I want to just look. That must go through there. We can't do, because that's out of the line. And the motor's not out of the line because I didn't undo all the brackets. goes there because the idler goes there. Right. Bear with me, folks. Right, we're back on it now, folks. I've had to refer to my photographs, but we're back on it. We know where we are now. So we pull that pin out of there, and that goes in between. Yeah, I just had to have a quick reference look. And that goes back on you cunt. And that goes there. And then we tighten that screw there. Let's make sure where the tighten the screw in a little bit, and then we can find out where the notch is. There we go. Right, so the notch is pretty big. There's quite a bit of adjustment on that. Turn that a bit more. There's quite a bit of an adjustment on that. Right, well, I'm going to set it to how it looks in the photo. There we go. No, that's too far down. It wasn't that far counter sunk in the photo. It wasn't quite level either. There we go. I'd say about there. Right, well, that's where that goes, folks. That moves on the inside of that. That goes there. Now, no, did that spring come off there? No, it didn't. Or did it come off? It came off here. Ooh. And this goes onto the this cup goes onto the bottom of there, because that pushes that up and down. So actually that spring might go there. Might have fucking gone there actually. Let me just have a look. Just have a quick look. Oh, see, I've not done one for years, folks, and let's have a quick look. Let's put you on pause a minute. Right, the spring goes on the bottom. Oh, where's that gone? Come here, you. Come here. Don't you hit in the floor. There, gotcha. Right. The spring. Right. That goes on there. I'll put that on when I'm ready for it. Right. The spring goes there. Goes in between. Yeah. The spring goes there. And we also have an adjuster. We also have this, which goes in there. It goes in there. And putting it loosely together for a second, folks, because that goes, it's just, that has to go into there because that rides, that doesn't go into there, that goes into there. Right. Right, the spring goes into there. Right, that goes, because that goes onto there. It'll all become apart again to be lubricated. I just don't fancy getting shit all over my fingers while I'm doing this. Right, that goes into there because, well, we know that goes into there. I don't think it goes that way. It doesn't. It goes that way. And that's how it goes, because that's an adjuster. And that, there we go, that moves your speed up and down. And that's just held on by this. And then we have, see, that's all got to be lubricated yet. But we have this piece here. Pull this out. We have this piece, which and does that tuck under there? That tucks under that there. That's fell off again. Right. Leave that off until we put it on. Right, but I've got a feeling that this I'd go a bit further down. That's it. That's right. The spring, I'm not lubricating anything yet, folks. I want to make sure I get it all correct. That goes into there, that goes behind that because that pulls that there, look. So we're all learning together here, folks. I mean, I've not done one for a long time, and it's difficult when you've not done one for a long time because. Right, so that goes onto there, and that is still not right. Because that goes that way around, and that goes there. And I think that pushes into, that goes into there like that, look. That's how it goes, look. That's how it goes, because that just rides on that, and that just does that, really. So you can see the wear on that, you know. But anyway, now we know. And we've got it so shift our fucking phone. Let's try and look a bit professional. Do this in a professional manner. Now let's see, get it all apart again. Watch all prong everywhere. Fucking hell. Come on, you cunt, you've got to come off first. We have to get you. Come on, you're coming off. You're not getting on there without being lubricated. Come on. Oh, this all pulls out together. There we go. Pull that him out of there. And what we'll do, we'll a little bit of lubricant on each shaft. There we go. That's him done. Put a bit on him. He has to have a bit, definitely. He's worn. If I had another, what do you call it? I mean, he's stiff. He's not stiff in the middle there, I don't think. No, he's okay in the middle. But what we'll do, we'll just thin the grease slightly, so they get a bit of oil down into him as well, onto his shaft. There we go. There we go. Right, so he goes in there, he comes up, he goes under there, and he needs to be lubricated. And what we'll do, we'll shove a bit down there, a bit on the shaft, there we go, a bit on the shaft, even round the spring because he goes right up. And I've not lubricated him either, have I? So but we can do him now, he's okay. And get to him, there we are. And this will all need to be set up once it's on. And that goes on there. Oh, hang on. That's right. Yeah, we're right in the bottom. We need to pull it up there. And what we need to do is sort of get all this. Now, we had this working a minute ago. It's right there. Let's pull it off there a minute. Have I pulled? Have I put the bar, this bar here, have I put this in the wrong fucking end? I don't think I have. No, I haven't. I had it working a minute ago. That's it. That has to sit onto there. Yeah. That has to go into there. But that's it. Just to sort of jiggle it in. Because that goes there. That's it, we're going in, we're getting there. Right. We're not as far on as we fucking should be. Well, that's why. The reason for that was we were fucking upside down. There we are. There we are. Yeah, we were upside down. Make sure the 3 speeds work. Right, so the speeds, so that should be on there. We had them working a minute ago. That's the lever that pulls the speeds. And that's the lever that pulls them. hang on, I know why. I know why. I know why. I think we start off here. Start off there. Yeah, I think we start off there. So we're working there now, and that. So lift that up a minute. So we're working there now, that's doing what it should do. Let's put that back on the, there we go. Let's put the, so basically, that has to pull around there and then pull there. So what I'm going to put the nut on the bottom of it, put the washer on. No, not going to be too difficult to fucking adjust this, because you just set it to where the fucking line is in the middle of that, where that wear is. Set it to that. Just set it to where that wear is. Set it dead to the centre of that, where that wear is. There we go. That's it. Now that should put, there we go. That's all working. Yeah. There we go. Let's put the springs back on the bottom. I removed this one because thinking I was going to take a circlip off, but didn't. Didn't have to. This is there we go. That just pops over the where the screw goes. There, that's right. That's right. Let's check the speeds. Works. Not very good though. It's catching on. That's done right, so let's bring that back up. They're changing up. Let's put the spring on. That spring goes through that. Oh, hang on. That spring comes up through there. That's what that holds for. And then it just hooks on here. There we go. That's what that spring, that's where that spring goes. So why is it not moving up and down? It's all in the right place. And that's right. That definitely goes there. That definitely goes under that bar. Because it pulls it away. It pulls it away from the turntables, change speed. And that's definitely lined up, not catching anywhere. And push that up there. So we're that could be wrong actually. Just check this. There we go. Now, just pull this bottom off. Right, see if I've got that there under there, and it should be over it. See, I'm showing you all these mistakes so that you don't have to make them. And right, so basically pull that off there. Be sure not to lose the washer. There we go. Let's pull that out of there. Put that in so it's over the top. I don't think it goes that way though. But we'll try it that way. We'll try it, but I don't think it does. I could be wrong. I don't think it goes there. I don't think that's right. We'll find out. Actually, folks, could have been right. Yeah. Yeah, could be right. Let's put the spring back on. Oh, where's the washer gone? Gotcha. Put the washer back on. The nut back on, rather. Tell you what. I'm amazed at how well built this thing actually is. It's brilliant. But I think we need to adjust that. So just we're in the centre of that wear there. And we're not quite in the centre of that yet. I'd say that's acceptable. Now let's put the spring back on. And see if the speeds change smoothly. It's all lubricated, so they should. There's no reason why. Oh, hang on, I'm going to bend that spring, and just straighten that back out. There we go. There we go. Now, that's right. I don't think that's right. That pulls up. That doesn't drop down. Scraps! So that doesn't drop down, so that's not right. That's not right, that goes under. Scraps! Get in! That definitely goes under. And unfortunately my camera didn't get a photograph of that. I'm pretty sure it didn't. I'll have a look in a minute. But I don't think I went into that much detail. So what we'll do, we'll pull this back out. Now we know that that goes under there. It definitely goes under there. Put that on. We've still got the washer there with it. And put the nut back on. So it definitely goes that way. Tighten that up. So that way we're not quite level with the wear. We want to be level with the wear. There we go. Now let's try that. See, that works now. That works now. And this fucking thing's come back over the fucking top. How's that come back over the top? That should be under the bottom. That goes there. That's just that goes there. That goes there because I know it goes underneath because it runs on that. And I'll push that up. Right. It's not caused by that bar there. Right. That's weird, that. Right. That doesn't go in there. And that's the Where's the, that's the thing for adjusting the speed. No, that doesn't go in there, does it? Surely not. Just take that off there a minute, a spring. I've got a feeling. Hold on a minute. Have a look at my picture. Be back in a minute. What I'd actually done, folks, I've sort of got it so good. That's why I need photographs. What I'd actually done, I'd put this, it's supposed to go there, and that's supposed to face that way. I'd put it so it was facing that way, and that was what was wrong. It's what I believe to be wrong anyway. We'll soon find out. Let's put it back together and see if speeds now work. It should. So I don't take all off the bottom there. I want to try and put this fucking thing in. I'll just get that pin in. Oops. Get that pin in first. Yeah, get that pin down there first. Oh. Slight tap. I don't know why it needs a tap. That's not right. I mean, the screw's undone. There we go. Now let's just push that back up again because I need to put this little thing back in. Which could be easier said than done without taking everything apart. Oh no, we've done it. Now, I'd say that's about right. Let's tighten the screw. That's supposed to go there. Right. Now let's put the springs back on. La do 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 do. You do need patience. Now that's supposed to move up and down freely. Supposed to move up and down freely. Oh, hang on. Now let's try that. Tighten that in there. Let's give it a bit more lubricant because it come off on my fingers and stuff. There we go. once the idler and stuff's on, that's catching on there. That's just catching on there. It's catching on the top of the idler. Yeah, it's catching there every now and again. Yeah, just catches the top there. Yeah, because I remember these have to be out of the way of the fan, and that goes there. So what we'll do now, we'll put the spring on the bottom, folks, and we'll see if the speed change mechanism actually works. It fucking better add. It's a lot of fucking about. There we go. Right, are we ready for this? Apart from the fact we're getting caught on there. Right. Right, why are we fucking suddenly stuck up? There we are. Didn't bring it all the way down. So speed up, up and down. Should drop one. It's not dropping back down. It is now. See, it doesn't help when you. Right. One up, one down. One up, one down. One up, one down. One up. So that would actually be 33 or 45. It might have a neutral on this as well, because there's an extra position there. So there might be a neutral on this. But you've got your speed there, which is probably 33 or 45. Then you've got your next one up, and then you've got your next one up. And that, providing that keeps out of the fucking way, which it will when the idler's on, that must go that way. Yeah, that sits that way. Let's put the idler on. I'm not worried about the idler getting crap on, because it's got to be treated with rubber renew anyway. So let's try this now. So that's the very bottom speed, and that's the next speed up, and that's your top speed. That's your top pulley. So that's that. That. Oh, we're going back up again. So, and there must be a neutral on there. Right. So that's your either your 45 or your 33. I think it's your 33. Then you've got your 78, which I think it could be, I'm not sure. And then you've got that. Then you've got that back down there, and back down there, and then there. So folks, that is the mechanism for the speed rebuilt. And the motor set there, look at that now. Right, see if there's anything else that has to go on. We've got this shaft that has to go, we've got this that has to go back on here. This goes on which fucking end? Yeah, it goes on here. That pulls that, see what I mean? Works lovely now, that. And that goes there. And I think there might be some sort of spring. I can't remember, there was a clip that went on there. Oh no, it's pulled back by the mechanism, it engages into there. But look at that now. And that goes on there. I'm not sure if that's the right way up or if it goes the other way, but that can be turned round. But I'm going to clip it on for now anyway. And that other clip, yeah, they're all the same, but that other clip must fit that other one. So what we'll do, we'll clip this one on. We'll clip this one on. I'll tell you what, folks, now you know. Now you know the importance of having a digital camera when you're doing this. I mean, to be honest, I like to consider myself, you know, what was the word I used? I used the word expert, didn't I? I like to consider myself a bit of an expert at this sort of thing. I've done lots of record decks. I like to consider myself an expert. To a point, there are people that know more than me. But even people who know the job sometimes have to take photographs. I'm not too bothered about that idler. It's going to get rubber renewed anyway. And we'll put the little screw in. That way we don't lose nothing, you see. And that way this is all complete then. This idler's, this speed system's all complete and motor system's all done. I want to keep this as a one-part video. I don't want to do it in separate parts. So it's going to be a long one. And, you know, I want to do it as a one-parter. There we go. There we go, there's your... How about that? All works now, folks. Right, so that's... I'm having a well-earned cup of coffee now. I think I'm going to... yeah. Hey folks, we're back on the Collaro, and I've cleaned it the best I can. It still looks a bit... yeah. I don't know what all this muck is under the knob, but I can't get the knob off to clean it. I'll crawl that lot. Don't know what all that is, but I can't get the knob off, to be honest, to get under it. And to be honest, I don't want to pull the knob off, I don't want to break it. See if there's a clip underneath or something. I don't think there is on these. No, the knob comes off the top. There's a clip under the knob. So the knob actually pulls off, but the problem was, what the problem is breaking the frigging knob. Do it gently. Come on. Ooh. Ooh, look at all that. All that crap under there. All that rubbish under there. Right. I need the IPA. Didn't think I would have needed it for this, but oops. Obviously, I do. And can I get in to get it because I've got stuff away? There we go. Got it. Right. See if we can make it look a bit cleaner. But that's... Don't know what that is. It's there we go. There we go, that's it. Let's put the knob back on. Just give it a wipe under there. There we go. Put the knob back on. There we go. We're alright under there, there's nothing under that one. So, don't have to pull that one off. Now, let's have a look. Let's see if we can just get a bit more of this crap off here. I don't think I can, I think it's... I've washed this and scrubbed it and it's not wanting to go, but this IPA, let's pour a bit of that in it. That'll do, but that'll dissolve it, you see. But actually not a bad deck this, I've seen worse. I've seen better, but I've certainly seen worse. It's not too bad. I mean, under the turntable doesn't really matter. It's on top where it matters, where you're going to see things. I mean, the other thing I would suggest is try and keep the IPA away from the plastic bits if you can, because you don't know how they're going to react to alcohol, so don't put any, try and avoid it. Let's find something to put this bit of IPA in so I can clean. Let's put the lid on it for a minute, it fucking stinks. Right, what I need to do now is just basically tighten that up, because that doesn't have to be fucking loose, because the springs don't do now on this. The only reason why the springs on this is in case it was fitted to someone that needed them. This doesn't use them. So let's tighten that spring, tighten that fucking screw up. There we go. The other one's all tight, that's okay. I'll be honest, I do like these Collaro decks, I think they're lovely. But they're very over engineered. And like I say, it's not everybody that can do them. Let's get me cotton buds. Where's that thing I used to put the fucking cotton fucking stuff in last time? That's got a hole in it. At least I think it has. Yeah, last time I put something in that, I think it pissed right out of it. Keep dead. Oh. Take the top off first, you dopey bastard. Put a little bit of IPA in that lid. Sure, it all pissed out last time. Now what we're doing here, we're just cleaning everything. And because the mechanism's not seized, there's no real reason to actually start stripping everything off, taking everything apart. I mean, all this here, it's all nice and free and just needs lubricating. All dry really. That's all it is. You like, look at that there, bit of oil in that, be right again. It doesn't take much to service this. I was talking to my girlfriend before while I was having a break. I'm waiting for this to, because I put it in the sink and put gunk on it, get all the crap off. While I was waiting for that, I was talking to my girlfriend. It always makes me feel better when I speak to my girlfriend. Look at that. Well, all that burnt shit there come off, because that's come from the heat of the valve, that. Yeah, look at that. Get rid, put that on this side for a minute. I'll tell you what. Yeah, Jay said he thinks he paid a bit too much for this, but he overpaid for it slightly. But then again, we all do. I mean, that's what people do these days. You know, they take us to the cleaners when we want them now because they know we want them. And unfortunately, people seem to think they're worth a fucking fortune. Because it's old. It's worth a fortune because it's old. It ain't worth a fortune because it's old. It is what it is. There we go. See? So what you do basically, you still have your camera handy for when you want to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a few photographs because there might be a few bits I have to take off. So I'm going to take a few photos. I'm going to get myself a few snapshots, and I'm going to get one of it at the bottom here. So what we'll do, we'll take one here, take one of the whole bottom first. There we go. We'll take one here. We'll take one here. We'll take one down here. Take one. There. Turn it round. Another one there. See, I'm not planning on taking all this off, but you never know. You know, you just don't know, so it's always worthwhile to get a few shots. There we go. And that's a few shots that we need, should we need them. Now, I'm going to start lubricating it, because I've got a feeling that a bit of a lubrication is all this needs. That centre spindle looks bent. Looks bent. I'll find out when I put it all back together. Right. No. And that's for the on-off switch. You turn that, whatever it is, there. And the reason why that's not working is because that has to be here, and now if I turn that, if I hold that out of the way, there we are, and that releases it, that turns it on. That rejects it. I think it goes that way actually. Can't remember. We'll soon find out. Right. Make sure that that centre spindle actually goes in to drop the records. Make sure all this works. It doesn't. Oh, hang on. On there a minute. Will turntable go? Well, no relationship to the turntable going, is it? The motor goes that way. Here's the idler. Yeah, that pulls the idler away. That means the mechanism is disengaged. Then when we, there we go. See, that's supposed to go in like that, but it doesn't, it's not pulling that. That's supposed to move that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I should. Right, so reject, start. So it's that way for start. So right, I think we've got this right now, folks. Let's just try it. So start, turn that, goes over to the record, puts it down, that's right, pulls that idler away from the motor, then the arm goes in because the record's finished, it then trips this, the turntable then trips this, whoops, does that because there was no weight in the cartridge, no weight in the arm lifts up, comes back to its base, hang on, and it will go again because there's a record. Now we'll put that down now because there's no record. So now it's now run out of records. That goes up. That now comes back. And there you go. That's the cycle. So we know it all works. Just got to lube it all up now. So basically that's simple. Give it all the squirt of oil in places where it needs it, and a bit of grease in places where it needs that. So basically, there we go. Bit of oil on that. Clip the arm down out of the way. Right. Bit of grease in places. Bit under there will do the job. Bit on there as well. Just dab a little bit here and there, folks. We want a bit on here. Bit on there because metal sliding against metal, but yeah, the mechanism all seems to work fine. I don't want to put grease where there isn't actually supposed to be any, but it hasn't had to be taken apart this either. The reason for that is because, let's give that a squirt of oil, that bearing. There we go. It don't matter if you have excess oil that runs off into anywhere because the mechanism will use it. There we go. Right. These bars here, these have to have a bit of grease on them. A bit of grease on those. It's not going to be a tough job this. I mean, I've not had to take any of this apart because basically it's a clean deck, and because it's clean, because it's that clean, I don't have to take it apart, so I'm not doing anything that doesn't need to be done. And the one place you want to keep grease from is that liquid brass roller, because that makes contact with the motor. That's what that does. Shut up, Scraps. Shut up. Yeah. It's actually quite a nice one, this. It's one of the cleanest I've seen. Yeah, now let's have a look at the arm pivot. See where the arm pivots and give it a squirt of oil. Let's have a look at the arm pivot. There's the arm pivot. Feels a bit on the... I could do with a squirt of oil. There we go. Could do with a squirt of oil in there. There we go. That's better. Right. Now I can just keep wipe the grease off the brush. Oh, hang on. I'll still need the grease in a few minutes to put on the ball race, because the ball race has got to be greased. Right, well, all this has been done, and I wouldn't worry about excess oil. The mechanism will find a use for it. Now what I want to do now, I want to put the motor assembly back in, and do I have to take the idler off to do that? Because there's a fucking screw under there. Yeah, I've got to take the idler off to do it. Bloody hell. Don't worry folks, you're not missing anything, I'm only taking the idler off. Right, so basically, I'll screw back in there with the washer so I don't lose it. Pull the idler off the shaft. Yes. Now, let's have a look at the orientation of the motor. That goes there. Now, and that goes like that. And that just lines up. Look at that, folks. Look at that. You can't get any easier, can you? Now we have to have this connected. Now, where does this connect? Where does this connect? Now this connects this rod, I think. That rod goes to there. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. That rod goes to there, and there's a circlip. A circlip that we should have. We should only have one circlip. We shouldn't have any more than that. And that circlip. Well, that's the wrong fucking size for that, so where the fucking hell's the one for that? Right. that circlip came off the idler. Right. Unless it's fucking flown off somewhere. Didn't see it. I know I didn't lose it. It didn't fly off. So and there are all the spacers for that. They go on there. That's all the automatic stuff. But there again, there was some of these missing as well. Somebody had been at this before me. Anyway, I'll find a little circlip to put on there. I don't remember taking it off, and if I did, it would have ended up in the turntable platter with the rest of the stuff. So there we go. But that's got to have a clip on it, so I've got to find one for it. Even though I don't take responsibility for losing it, because there was a couple of washers missing from here as well. So you know, there's probably many people been in here, but I will find a little clip to go on that. So we're not worried there about that. But that one goes on here. That one. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh, hang on a minute. I clicked the wrong one in the wrong fucking place. I might have done. I'll have a look in a minute. Let me just pull this back off again and have a look. I might have clicked the wrong one in the wrong fucking place. I don't think I did. Pretty sure I didn't. Oh no. No, I know where that. No, it's missing. I know where that one's from. No, I know where that one's from. That one goes to here. It's for the speed change lever. The one off here was already. The one off there must have already been missing, because if it was here, it'd be in the middle here with this lot, and it ain't. So. And I know it definitely didn't fly around the room. None of the clips off this particular unit did. But it's not a great issue. We've got plenty of circlips and stuff knocking about. We rebuild record players here, so you know. Find this correct size screwdriver. That way you can get a good purchase on the screws. I can't test the automatics until we come up with an idler. Jay thinks he's got one in his junk. So I'm pretty comfortable. What I'll do, I'll put this is what's left of his idler. I'll put all this back in, and then at least it's all complete. So that I will do. So I will reassemble everything, so that we only have to take the idler off and replace it. I'll tell you what, folks. Collaro decks are not for the faint-hearted. I mean, in all honesty, I've been lucky with this one. It's not always the case. I mean, these things were over-engineered. They were made differently to BSRs and Garrards. They're not the same. They do the same job, but they do it in a different way. don't you just hate when you get finicky little screws like that? Just won't sit in the hole. You think you've got it and you haven't. I've had an idea. Put it through the hole. Put the screwdriver in. There we go. Oops, get in there, you fucker. Something as insignificant as the idler is going to fight me. There we go. There you are. Use its idler as a guide. What else has got to go in? The ball race, but I can go in last. That felt washer's got to go in. There are the screws to the switch. This gear has to go back in. And this gear goes here. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Just while I'm here, I think it'd be ideal to connect the speed knob up. And this is where that circlip goes. Goes on the back of here. There we are. Look at that. That's where your circlip goes, and then we've got this gear here. Oh, you dopey bastard! Oh, you fuck! I've got to drop the fucking motor, I can't. Ah! I can't get that fucking gear. Can't get. No, I'm gonna have to draw you fucker. What a cunt! You see it all on here, folks. Fucking mistakes and all. You see the fucking lot on this channel. Oh, I've got to drop the fucking motor again because hopefully I won't have to disconnect the fucking speed control, take that clip off. I might be able to just get it and move it out of the way. Because that gear has to go in first. There we are. There we go. Now, is that right? Yes. Perfect. So all we have to do is make sure that doesn't fucking fall back out. Put the motor. Shift that over there a minute. Put the motor tell you what, you know, Collaro, I don't know why, but they never used any suspension on the motor. Ooh, there we go. I don't know why they decided to do this, but they never used. See, that'll just drop onto there. That's all right. That won't go any further than that. I'll tighten them up with a big screwdriver in a second. I'll just get them in with this small one. And I need to find a circlip for that as well. Find one after. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady goes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope a little lady goes by. There's no other girl I would wait for. This one I break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She wouldn't leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. Oh, she's absolutely beautiful and marvellous and wonderful. Yeah, and anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by. Don't you dare start fucking howling, Scraps. I can fucking sing, you know. Sort of. Yeah, I'm probably giving away the fact at this point I'm a George Formby fan. I've been for years. Brilliant. Right. Now, right, well, we're hitting where we need to be. Oh, beautiful. Spot on. That's 33 and a turd if you're in Ireland. 33 and a turd if you're in Ireland. 40. That's neutral in the middle. Yeah, because you've got 33 there. You've got neutral. 78. It shouldn't have neutral, but it has. 78. 45. The neutral's in between these. But there again, there's supposed to be a fucking spring in there or something. I don't know. Don't think there is. Alright, let's operate the mechanism and see what happens. Now let's see. We're on 78. Now let's put on the top there. Let's turn the mechanism. And then that goes across, that moves out of the way. And then that'll be pushed in force by the turntable, because that spring there should go on the other way around. That's it. That was just on the wrong way around. Doesn't matter about it being like that, but let's have it right. So, I mean, there was no spring on there. Whether there's supposed to be one, I don't know. But there wasn't one on it, because if there was, it'd be in the turntable. And these spacers, 3 of them, 4 of them actually. Let's put these spacers, 4 of them all went on here. They all went on there. They all went on there. Right, so that's that. And then that. What we do then, because I'm going to put this old idler on even though it's foot, because I want everything to be complete. There we go. Now, the only problem you have here is tightening these fucking screws up. Bit of a bastard, it has to be said. There we go, that's one. The reason why they're a bit of a bastard is you could put it around the other fucker now. I mean, this idler's got to come back off again. But right. Oh me, oh my, I hope a little lady goes, but I believe boom, there's no other girl I'd wait for. This one I break any day for. I won't have to ask. Where's my grease brush, the one I was using? That's not it, is it? That doesn't matter. Right, so drop. And what I tend to do with these, I tend to put them in upside down. That way they can score the other side. Spend the next 60 years wearing the other side out. Yeah. There we go. We're nearly complete with this deck now. My job here is almost done, and this is ball bearing race. Doesn't even need cleaning. It's fucking dry as fuck. There's no grease in it, and it's repacking completely. I know the G. There we go. Let's drop that down onto the there. Give the brush a wipe. I'm sure I had another brush somewhere. Well, there it is. Yeah, there it is. That's my other one. I thought I had two. It's a slightly thinner one, slightly thinner jobs, which is the one I wanted, but never mind. Right, so now where's the top for the fucking grease? We're on the home straight now on this Collaro, folks. I have got to find a circlip to go under there. That's something that has to be done, but I want to get the machine complete. Let's clip the arm down. We can only get this far into it and then break the fucking tone hammer out, do we? Or for that matter, I've knocked the fucking IPA over. What a dick. Oh, it's gone into everything. Oh, look at that. At least my tools will be clean. At least I haven't gone into my phone. Just get a cloth to fucking mop that up. It's gone into fucking everything. I've got to clean the turntable drive drum yet and treat the idler with rubber renew. That's all got to be done, but that's not an issue. And basically we've got to put the fucking switch back on now. Oh, my phone just went ding. Just pause this a minute. Right, well, what we're going to do now, folks, we're going to put the switch on. Yeah, young George just sent me a picture. I'll have a look in a minute. I'll just get this done. You know, our friend young George Fiddler. Oh. Catch him in a minute. I'll just get this done. This needs to get done. Right. Now, that holds in there, lovely. Tell you what, you know, they were well over engineered, these Collaros, but fucking hell, the quality was there. And it fucking shows, man. You know, the fucking ball racers fucking fell out. I fucking knew it would. Aye. This is a nuisance. The only part of these I don't like is these little fucking things they use as nuts. Why can't they put proper nuts in them? No. It's the only part about them I don't really like. I mean, other than that, these are brilliant, these decks. Just them fucking little fucking things they use as fucking nuts, little fucking... You know, these little fucking daft things. You can't really see it, but you know what I mean. They're just like a flat piece of spring steel with a hole drilled through the middle of it to take the screw. You know, you guys who do vintage record players and radios will know all about them. Still to do the job. I mean, a couple of nuts would have been nice, but I'll tell you what would be nasty, and actually it would be unforgivable, if the fucking chinks ever got hold of Collaro. Ever got hold of the fucking name and made a fucking deck. Now that would be fucking that would be a fucking bit of bad day, wouldn't it? There we go. Put the ball race back in, it's already been in fucking once. Put the ball race back in. Yeah, that clip isn't in there. This has got to be cleaned and done with rubber renew, so, and the circlip for the turntable is there, I've not lost that. Basically what I need to do now is put that on there. I've got a feeling that there's a spring missing out of that. Let's see if the automatic system works. It should just trip it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because the arm's up now. So if I turn that noise is because of that idler. There we go. That noise is because of the idler hitting the motor. So if I turn this back on, now that's off. That's not even, that idler's not even touching the fucking turntable, is it? So that'll go around. And then it should that turns on, it lifts the arm up. Turns the mechanism off. There we go. Now we try it with a record. This is Jay's record. This is his record, so we'll pop that on the top there. Shut up, you. And what we'll do, we'll scraps. There. Down it goes. Would go all the way if it had a cartridge in it. And then it gets to the end. Oops. And then it's supposed to. Oh, hang on. Oh. It mustn't have fucking gone over. Oh, it did. Scraps! Get in! There we go, we dropped down, gone over, and we're on. Idler moves away. Oh, the reason why that is because there is because the turntable wasn't up where it should be. So there we go. There we go. Now let's try it again because I can turn it with the turntable flat. And I've just moved that out of the way, so it might only go to the 12-inch position. Oh, hang on, let's put that there. There we go. Pickle arms lifted up. Turn the gear. Record's dropped. Arms gone over. And onto the record. And get into the middle. There we go. That arm still feels a bit, it's not, it feels it though. Feels a bit stiff, that, to be honest. Well, it's all lubricated. I mean, let me just. That's all okay. And that's all okay. There's nothing. Well, let's try it again. It seems to be doing the job though. I think the arm needs to be shifted over a bit. You do that with them 2 screws. So let's try it again. Oh, hang on, we want the single look, don't we? So we'll turn that. Down it goes, across. And on. Idler out of the way, record playing. The play idler's not touching it though. So I think there might be a spring missing, I'll have to have a look. But Jay's got a spare one of these, so if he brings the spare we can find out. But go to the end. There you are. Hang on. There we go. Now, let's give it some power because we can test the motor. I know the motor's working, but I want to just see if when that motor's running, will that pull the idler in? It might. I mean, I could be wrong, it wouldn't be the first time. But basically, we get our safety approved IEC cable. And this goes into the, just put that there, turn it off, there we go. It's not rotating the turntable, so look why the turntable doesn't run. Right. So even without a rubber on that, I want to keep it running, don't I? So let's turn the, have a look why. I think there's a spring missing, to be honest. And you know something, there is, because there's supposed to be a spring. I think it goes from there, and I'm not sure, but I think there's a spring that goes from here, probably from here to here, and pulls the idler across. Let me see if I've got the manual on this. Hi folks, yeah, there is a spring missing apparently, and it actually goes from here. There is no clip on here because there's a spring that goes from here to here. So what we'll do, we'll have a look in the magic box and see if we can find a spring. Right, we're back on it now folks. I've had to refer to my photographs, but we're back on it. We know where we are now. So we'll pull that pin out of there, and that goes in between. Yeah, I just had to have a quick reference look. And that goes back on you cunt. And that goes there. And then we tighten that screw there. Let's make sure tighten the screw in a little bit, and then we can find out where the notch is. There we go. Right, so the notch is pretty big. There's quite a bit of adjustment on that. Turn that a bit more. There's quite a bit of an adjustment on that. Right, well, I'm going to set it to how it looks in the photo. There we go. No, that's too far down. It's Wasn't that far counter sunk in the photo. It wasn't quite level either. There we go. I'd say about there. Right, well that's where that goes, folks. That moves on the inside of that. That goes there. Now, no, did that spring come off there? No, it didn't. Or did it come off? It came off here. Ooh. And this goes onto the bottom. This cup goes onto the bottom of there because that pushes that up and down. So actually, that spring might go there. Might have fucking gone there actually. Let me just have a look. Just have a quick look. Oh, see, I've not done one for years, folks, and let's have a quick look. Let's put you on pause a minute.